Welcome to Tidy Up Texan. I'm Nicole, and I've got some carpet cleaning motivation for you. So, although we do have a carpet cleaning machine already, and I've cleaned the carpets a couple of times since we bought the house, it just doesn't have the power that we need to get these carpets clean. So, a family friend gifted us a new carpet cleaner. And since I've had this exact one in the past, I know it's going to do the job. So, let's finish putting this together and then see what we have to tackle. So, as some of you know, we have a lot of animals in this house, but so did the previous owners. And unfortunately, when you already have pet stains from previous pets, the new pets are gonna want to mark their territory. And that's exactly what happened. So, this portion of the hallway is mostly from the previous owner. However, this portion of the hall, that is from the two corgis. And in this last room, this is my son's room. He's only here twice a year and he is allergic to the animals, so we make sure this room always stays closed. However, we did have a guest, and I think the dogs may have gotten in here, so I'm going to tackle that room as well. And like I said, I have cleaned these carpets a couple times since we moved in, but that machine just didn't do much. And before you say, just rip out the carpet, yes, we are going to rip out the carpet. But until then, we do need to get it cleaned. But first, we gotta vacuum. If you're new here, I am a mother of two grown sons, 18 and 30. Both my sons reside in our home state of California. I am a former professional carpet cleaner. Yes, carpet cleaner. I was a carpet cleaner for 15 years, but now I am a disabled homemaker, minus the cooking. I don't cook. Ryan is a plumber, and we bought this house a little over 2 years ago with my mother-in-law, who has unfortunately passed away very recently. And my sister-in-law, Morgan, she also lives with us. And between the three of us, we have a total of 12, count them 12, animals. Morgan has two dogs, the corgis, and three cats. And we have three dogs, one pit bull and two husky lab mixes, along with our four cats. Today I'm only going to be doing the hallway in my son's room, but I plan to do the hallway again and then the other two rooms on another day for a couple of reasons. One reason is because I have a bad back and I can only do so much. And the other reason is these other two rooms still need to be emptied out. One is my office, which is full of inventory, and the other room was my sister-in-law's, which she is now moving to my mother-in-law's old room. Now, if you're thinking about cleaning your own carpets, you should always start with a good vacuuming, pulling up as much dust, debris, dirt, hair, or fur. And know that a portable carpet cleaner is just not going to do the same as a professional carpet cleaning machine would. So pre-vacuuming is essential. In my son's room, I'm only doing the traffic areas, the areas that you walk on the most. But if you were going to move furniture, I would keep this in mind. Anything that you move, you need to keep off the carpet until the carpet is thoroughly dry and not just dry to the touch. Most furniture is either wood or metal, and if put back too soon on wet carpet or damp carpet, metal can rust your carpet and wood usually has stain and the stain can bleed into your carpet. So now that I've got my carpets vacuumed up really well, I'm going to move on to pre-treating. My issue is pet stains, and for this I am pre-treating with an enzyme cleaner, and the amount I put on depends on the spot. I like to mist the entire carpet, but for the more soiled pet spots, I will be concentrating heavier on those spots. Now, I've cleaned tens of thousands of homes and businesses, so the method of cleaning one home's carpet versus another can look drastically different. So, you may not need to do any of the things that I'm doing here today. So, for me today, I am going to be, like I said, pre treating with an enzyme cleaner first, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to spot treat. And typically, I would do a spot treat with the cleaning because it makes it easier to rinse out the spot cleaner. But since I've already wet the carpet, I can go ahead and spot treat without worrying that it's going to dry too quickly. And as you can see, I just spray it down and then kind of work it in with my foot. And I'm only misting the spots. I'm not going directly into the carpet. I'm misting the top of the spot and then working it into the fibers. Oh, and keep in mind if you do pre-spray, you want to avoid oversaturating the carpet. These portable machines can only do so much as far as pulling out the moisture. Oversaturating your carpet can lead to mold and other problems. When cleaning your own carpets, you'd want to remember not to hold on to that trigger. You don't want to oversaturate the carpet. So for areas that are lightly walked on or have very little soiling, a light cleaning is all you need. For instance, this little portion right here doesn't get walked on very much. So I'm only holding on to the trigger moving forward and then letting go as I pull back. And then the rest of my passes are all extraction. And I want to point out this is sped up quite a bit. And if you're wondering what I'm using in my solution, I am using really hot water, a tiny splash of the carpet cleaning solution that the machine came with, and a tiny splash of the enzyme I had already pre-treated with. I really just want to rinse out whatever I put into the carpet. Leaving any type of cleaner can leave a residue, and that residue will attract dirt. So if you get your carpets clean and a week later it looks filthy again, it's most likely because you've left too much residue in the carpet. And here I'm showing you real time. This is how slowly I'm going over the carpet. And again, I'm only pushing the trigger when I'm going forward and letting go as I pull back. And then I go back over it again and again, only with dry passes. And just like vacuuming, you want to overlap your passes. That way you get a nice even clean. Since this room doesn't get used much and we are going to be replacing the carpets, I'm not too concerned about any stains. But if I were concerned about the stains, I would go over it again with the spot remover. But my main objective for this room is just to get it clean. We have a Berber carpet, which we absolutely hate, which just means it's an uncut, looped carpet. And this carpet takes a lot longer to dry than you would have with a cut pile. So if you have this type of carpet, it is a must to run fans. The more circulation you have, the better. And if you're doing this during a cold season and you got to have a heater running, you still want to have as many windows cracked as possible. And I'll tell you why in a second. But first, let's dump this dirty water. This is totally gross, but super satisfying. So the reason why you want to crack your windows when running a heater is simply because the moisture in the carpet and the heat in the air mixes and causes moisture to rise and fall. So it's really important to let that moisture escape out of the house. All right, we are done with the bedroom, and now let's get to the problem spots. And for this area, I'm going to be cleaning it a little bit differently than I was in the bedroom. Instead of making a wet pass forward and a dry pass backwards, I'm going to do a wet pass forward, wet pass backwards, and then repeat the dry passes. And I'll continue doing that a few times over the problem areas. And keep in mind, you must extract as much moisture as possible. Now, even though I know this machine does a really good job, I'm dealing with pet urine. If pet spots aren't cleaned in a timely manner, the urine can penetrate deep down into the fibers and even the padding and permanently discolor it. And as for the smell, once it's got into the padding, there's no removing it. You'll have to replace the padding. Now, Ryan and I rarely come through this area, and our animals don't have access to the house other than our room. So I wasn't really aware of the extent of the damage going on in this hallway. And on top of that, our old carpet cleaner wouldn't have done much anyways. And I know Morgan has been using her green machine to help pick up some of these spots. And I've never used a green machine, so I have no idea how well it would pick up the spots anyways. So unfortunately, the damage has been done, but I'm still going to do the best job that I can with what I have. As I've mentioned before, I am going to be doing this carpet again, but the next time I clean it, I will be using only vinegar and water. And after, I will be sprinkling baking soda all over the carpet to help absorb as much odor as possible. Oh my gosh, this section was so bad, and it definitely shows in the dirty water. Yikes! So gross. But to be honest, I've actually seen way, way, way worse. And if you're wondering what could be worse than pet stains, try human stains. All sorts of bodily fluids, including blood. Most people think that walking on your carpet without shoes or walking on the carpet barefoot is the best way to keep your carpet clean. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth. Walking on carpet barefooted can cause the worst odors in your carpet. All the oils and sweat absorb into the fibers. Imagine gym socks, wearing them over and over again before you wash them for months at a time. That's pretty much your carpet with bare feet. House slippers are usually your best bet when keeping your carpets cleaner longer as far as traffic. So if you're someone who doesn't have wall-to-wall carpeting, but you have some area rugs that need to be cleaned, You really have to take in consideration the type of fibers an area rug might have. For most wall-to-wall carpet, it is usually synthetic. Area rugs, on the other hand, they can have natural fibers such as bamboo, wool, cotton, jute, and other natural fibers. So unless your area rugs are fully synthetic, I would leave those to the professionals. And keep in mind, if you've never had an area rug cleaned professionally, it is a whole lot more expensive than cleaning a wall-to-wall carpet. So cleaning your synthetic area rugs yourself. Hot water and vinegar will go a long way. Spot cleaning as you go, making sure you rinse out the product the best you can, and making sure you get the carpets dry as quickly as possible will usually do the job. And something you always want to stay away from when cleaning any type of carpet or area rug is detergents. They are the worst thing that you can do to your carpet. Detergents can cause bleaching, discoloration, certain dyes to bleed, and delamination. If you've ever seen the back of a carpet, the waffle weave and the coating that they put on that waffle weave to hold the fibers in place, detergents can eat that stuff away. So do not use the detergents. It may smell great, but that detergent will destroy your carpet. Oh, and another thing, after you have your carpets clean, whether it's professional or yourself, it is fine to walk on with either socks or shoe covers, but please be careful coming off the wet carpet onto tile or wood floors. It gets slippery. The only thing I would avoid stepping on are those areas that you may have had large spills or, in my case, urine. I would wait until it fully dries to step on those areas. All right, we are just about done. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for sticking around. It really does mean the world to me that you've chosen to spend your time with me. I hope that I was able to teach you something or motivate you or inspire you to tackle a room in your home, or even if it's just for entertainment. But wait, look at these befores. Oh my goodness. I almost forgot how bad it was. Now, I wasn't expecting perfection by any means, but the difference is night and day. It feels so good to finally have this done. So if you like this type of cleaning, or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Again, thank you so much for being here today. I love you and I hope you have a great rest of the week. But until next time, bye.